Welcome back to my channel. You know who I am. This is Steve. This is now Edge Trading UK. And if you watched my previous video, we gave you a nice insight to the basics of candles. This video is going to follow on from that. So this video is going to take you a little bit more in. We're going to drag you in a little bit more and give you a ton more information that will help you make a calculated judgment when you are looking for that entry, reading the candlesticks. Now there's a whole range of more stuff which I'll get to after we've done this little bit of training for you, a little bit of bonus material. And at the end of it, you will see that there is a lot more that you can gather from these candles. Now today we're going to look at the hammer candlestick and just how important that is. We're going to look at the structures previous to the hammer candlestick, and then we're going to look at entry points on where we feel that we can get in when we see one of these materialize, and the types of hammers that we can get as well. Now, as always, as you know, we are building this community. I did have a massive community before, and it all took off, and I sold the trading platform that I built. In fact, you could probably see in the background, that is my old trading platform. So that is my old trading platform. So yeah, there we go. It was a great platform. Had a watch, had everything we needed, and it was really good. And here we are again. We're back. We're back by popular demand. I listened to you. I retired. I got out of the game. I was happy. But when you're a trader, it's like being a boxer. When you're a boxer, you miss that buzz, and I just miss the buzz. I miss the buzz of the markets, and there's a whole range of you now. You know, I helped all those people before. There's a whole range of you again now that want to be helped. And as you know, we've got Wilson, who knows absolutely nothing about trading. He's on board. We're going to get him up to speed, and then we're going to put him in. We're going to give him some money, and he's going to build his profile up, and we're going to do it all in the community. So if you want to be part of that, make sure you like and subscribe, follow this channel. And we have got a whole range of training material from knowing absolutely nothing all the way through to an advanced trader, and even teaching you some harmonics and stuff like that. But this material that I'm putting on here, there will be trades, there will be tips and tricks. This is just another helpful bonus information for you to watch. Welcome to this tips and tricks session. Today we're looking at the hammer candlestick, the secret weapon. Now, why are we looking at this? Well, I personally think that this is probably one of the most single powerful candlesticks in the trading arsenal. If you watched my previous tips and tricks videos where I talk about the importance of information that you can gather just from the candlesticks alone, today I want to dig in a little deeper on the hammer candle itself. But before we do so, I want you to understand that when you do trading, we need to treat it as a business. And when I say that, I mean most traders enter this world with the belief that they will be rich instantly, when the harsh reality is that 90% of those dreamers lose everything. Trading must be treated as a business with a full money management system in place, coupled with R, also known as risk. Set yourself a budget with a daily loss, and do not, and I repeat, do not exceed it. Never risk more than 1% and build your success gradually. Gamblers always lose to the house eventually, and it is so important. So let's get into this. So this is the hammer in action. Now, I pointed this out in my previous video, that I believe that the hammer is probably the single most important candle out there for our arsenal when making judgments on market trends. And the reason behind this is because, as I explained in my previous video, this hammer has fought the fight. We know that this structure here at one stage was this color in red. We've had sellers in at the market, selling hard, bringing the market down to a level, to a structure, and even this candle was red. But however, the buyers have stepped in. The buyers have seen maybe a level of support or some sort of structure that's in place at a higher time frame. Remember what I said before, read from left to right, go through higher time frames. And they've come in and they have battled hard on this candle, and they have taken the candle into a buyer's market. This is that candle. This is what we call a hammer, and the reason they call it the hammer is because it looks like a hammer. Then we see that it will start to trend up. So this hammer is the indication of market reversal. Now, we can't just look at this hammer, although it does give us a little bit of information. There are other things that we can look at to gather more information to make a more calculated judgment. So what is a true hammer? How do we know that it's a hammer? What if it's just a doji candle? Well, a true hammer officially is stated that it will close at 0.33% at this level. Okay, which means measuring it. So if we use, the best way to measure this is using a fib tool. Take out all the information, just leaving a 0.33 in there. And using a fib tool, we go from there, we drag it up and we go to the top. And we need to know that the candle must close above the 0.33%, leaving that long wick. That's how we know a true hammer. That's how we measure a true hammer. I hope that makes sense. Anything slightly lower than that, you could probably get away with. However, you want a true hammer for a strong indication to close above the 0.33%. So here is a hammer confirmation. So how do we confirm that this hammer is going to help us with the make a decision in reversal of the market? So now some people say you just need one candle before it that's different, or to make it a stronger indication, we'd want to see a trend down. We must see, I would say, me personally, I would like to say maybe 2, maybe 3 candles before we see this hammer. So once we see this come down and we see our hammer appear, the next form of confirmation is we need the next candle to be positive and green. Once we know that this candle is positive and green, and we know that the hammer there, that is a strong possibility that we are about to change in direction. Also as well, we would couple this with maybe some sort of support at this level here, along with that steep trend down. Once we have this confirmation here, and we have the second candle forming, this is an excellent entry point at the top of the close of this candle. That's where we would take our entry point. We would place our stop loss at the bottom of the wick of the hammer, or just slightly below it, maybe 3 to 5 pips, and set our profits as preceded. That is a hammer confirmation. Gathering information from a chart. So this is a typical chart that I've swiped from the Euro USD. Now there is a whole range of information that I am getting from this one little aspect of chart. Now you can see there are no indicators, there are no drawing tools, nothing of the sort. I'm just reading pure price, and I'm showing you the power of what that is. Now if you watched my previous videos on the 3-bar play, engulfing candles, and the importance of candles in general, you will see that there is a whole range of information here that we can take to make a judgment on our trade. First of all, we see the 3-bar play. There is our igniting candle, here is our narrow resting candle, and here is our trigger. Okay, that indicates a strong trend up. Okay, now I'm combining that, of course, with this hammer information. There we go with our strong trend up. We come to this point here. We have a candle that is positive. Here is our reversal, our hammer, so to speak. We know if we do our fib tool, we measure from there to the top, that it's 0.33%. So we know it's a strong indication. Here is our confirmation candle. Here is our entry candle that we get in there, and we make sure that we put our stops just above that candle, and then we take our profit. Again, strong indication, and we come down. Again, if we come back up here, we've got this 3-bar trend that's going up. In steps that hammer. Here is our fib tool. Please excuse the drawing on this one, but so we've measured our fib tool from the bottom to the middle to the top, and we know that between there that it's closed above the 33% mark. So that's perfect timing. We can see that our confirmation candle was come in, and there is our opening candle where we can get in our entry point here, the confirmation, and our stop loss at the top of the wick there, and we can see that this is a strong trend down. Again, there we go. Okay, we're not getting the hammer for the directional change. We have one here, of course. However, It's a false positive. Now, like everything in trading, not everything is guaranteed. Okay, there are things. Now, why wouldn't I have taken that trade? Well, guess what? There's no confirmation. Okay, yes, I've got the green candle, I've got the hammer, but there's no confirmation. We have another positive candle, so this is a false positive. So we come up, we follow up, and there we get to this point here where we look like there's a bit of consolidation going on. We have a doji there, then we have this big hammer candle here. So we have the negative candle, we have the hammer. How do we know that's a hammer? That's a lot longer in the body because we used our fib tool and we measured that that closed at 33% above, 0.33% above. We have that. Then we have our confirmation candle. Then we can get in at the top part here, put our stop loss down here, and we continue up. Now, my advice when doing anything like this, all of this information has come to me without any confirmation from an indicator or any confirmation of doing any form of charting, just reading price. And I cannot stress enough, if you do not read these like you're reading a book from left to right, gathering all of this amazing information of an uphill trend, you're missing valuable trade and profits. Now, again, it's not always going to be that good. I mean, we could even, although the wicks are a little bit long, we could see a 4-bar play here. We have the positive candle, negative, positive, negative. Then we've got the trigger. I wouldn't take that. It's not how I would like it. However, that hammer there is a perfect indication with the confirmation. Now, you combine this with an RSI or some sort of volume oscillator for confirmation down below, or even, using support and resistance and some charting tools. They are the extra bits that you can use, those extra tools that you can use to enhance your confirmation on that trade that is happening. That right there is the power of reading price through candles. So what I want to put here is, we did this test. Okay, there's lots of people that have done this. You can go on YouTube and find. There was a test where they just used the hammer candle to trade the markets, using that stop loss and take profits that I just showed you how they used that, and they got a 63% return in profit. So that was above average on just the hammer candle alone, just showing you exactly what I did there. Combine that with your money management and your risk. Just that simple thing that I've just showed you there, that simple hammer candle, gave them a 63% return on their investment. That gave them the edge over the market. So there you go. That is the hammer candlestick. There's a lot of information there. Look, the videos are there. I have a whole range of trading, right? There is everything that's sitting at home right now thinking, is this it? Is this my life? Is this what I've got? No. You can do more, but you've got to be willing to put in the effort. Now, I keep trading very simple. I don't overcomplicate it. I certainly don't want it to be a complete mess on the screen. I keep it really simple. At the end of the day, trading is betting whether the trade is going to go up or whether the trade is going to go down. Up being bullish, down being bearish. And there are little things that we can use to give us an indication on where we think that market's going to go, using some sort of probability, understanding the mindset of how other traders might work, how bankers look at making the trade. They round numbers off. They don't go and sell a trade at 1.4769. They'll sell it at 1.4500 or 1.300 or whatever it might be. They'll sell it at a rounded number nearest to the 500. There's all these little things that you can take. And from my course, I have got the basic trader, I have got the advanced trader, and we even go and touch onto the harmonics. Everything you need is right there. And it's ready and waiting for you guys to get hold of. And you can watch it at your own pace. You can do what you want to do. And to prove that it works, as I said in the start of this video, I have Wilson. He knows nothing. When I mean he knows nothing, he knows nothing. He's already looking at markets, posting some stuff as well, and he's getting there and he's getting very good. And the whole point of our trading community on Telegram is so people can post their trades and get confirmation from other people. I myself am going to do a challenge where I'm going to build my pot from £100 build it up to 2, and gradually keep going up and up and up. Now, I'm going to lose. I know I'm going to lose. We're going to take chances in the market. I'm going to try and stick and follow those trading rules that I set. That's what's important. So if you want to be part of that journey, you want to start taking away that I've got no money, I'm skinned, I've got nothing, and I want to make that extra income, then come and join us. Edge trading is the place to be. I promise you, we're going to have a buzzing group. We are going to make sure that when we post our trades, we're looking at market openings. We're going to do stocks. We're going to do Forex. We're going to look at head and shoulders. We're going to find entry points, and we're all going to trade together and try and build that income to the where you want it. Begin your journey today and join us. Don't forget, link in the description below for the Telegram. Link in the description below for our recommended broker, who are FCA and regulated all over the world. And not only that, do the best spreads and use TradingView as their main platform. Please make sure you like and subscribe this video. Let's build this community. Let's get back to where we used to be.